Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cranial Diarrhea. I am Tiff.
I'm my pants. Shat my pants.
He shat his pants, apparently. This is Angela. She's gonna help us out a little bit today here. And again, we have our favorite paranormal investigator, my cousin Shannon.
Regional expert.
Our regional expert.
Not an expert.
Compared to us.
Everybody's an expert compared to us.
Fair point. Fair point.
What? What are you looking at me for? What? What'd I do?
What we doing?
Oh, we're going to start in on our stage. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, granddaughter. See, somebody's paying attention around here.
Bless his heart.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of show prep goes into this thing. So I'm going to jump right in. First state, first stamp, something. First state, what'd I do?
Bless his heart. First state you got, Dad. What is it?
I got North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
I found something cool in North Carolina.
All right. Let's talk about
It's in
it.
the Outer Banks. There's this here pirate that haunts the Outer Banks, and his name's Edward Truck, a.k.a. Blackbeard.
I percent I knew that name.
Yeah, Blackbeard the
Blackbeard.
pirate.
Yeah, Blackbeard the pirate.
Yeah, and it's like people see his ship, and the whole thing was like he was in a battle, and he got killed, and they beheaded it, and some dude said, hey, it'd be a cool idea to make his skull into a cup, so they drank from his skull.
Oh.
So isn't that weird?
Do you think that's why he...
Well, that would piss me off. I would probably haunt him.
Is he haunting for revenge, or is he looking for his treasure, or
head?
his head?
There's reports of what they say both, but I think mainly he's pissed because somebody's drinking coffee out of his head.
Well, I'd be a little pissed too.
Where did his brains go?
I don't know.
I bet
But-
they ate them.
They may have. Brains for dinner. Scrambled brains.
Some African tribes do that.
So in North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
in the Outer Banks,
Yes.
Blackbeard is haunting what?
He's haunting the island.
The island.
Yeah, the
the island
Outer
called?
Banks. And they're like, they say they
The
see...
island is the island called the Outer Banks?
No, the Outer Banks is multiple
Outer Banks
islands.
is the
So
multiple
what is the
islands.
island called?
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't do his research.
They said on there, but I don't remember now, and I didn't write it down. But
He's
anyway,
not great at the research.
there's like reports of like seeing his ghost ship,
Yeah.
and reports of like him.
Do you know
and,
the
like,
ship? That his ship's name?
No. I wrote it down, I thought, but I guess I didn't.
Ain't the Outer
Oh, it
Banks
was
big
discovered.
with the salt
They
lake?
discovered his ship in 1996, though.
Oh.
His
Ocracoke Island.
Oh, they found
What
the
was it called?
ship.
Ocracoke Island.
Ocracoke Island. What?
Southern Outer Banks, Ocracoke Island.
Ocracoke Island.
See,
is
this
the
is why
island.
we need other people, because
See?
Dad doesn't do his research correctly.
Oh, unlike your 3 glasses of research.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do we see notes here? Tiffany did her research.
They're made up. They're made up. But anyway.
Oh.
Okay,
But anyway, they did discover his ship in 1996. They actually found the ship.
It
That's
found the
pretty
ship.
cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
How do they know it's his ship, though?
Yeah. Good
I mean,
question.
there's many ships that
Yes,
sunk.
it had like on his desk, Captain Blackbeard was here. I
On
don't know.
his desk.
I have no idea.
He had a placard.
Captain
my
Blackbeard's
desk.
desk. I don't know.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
But they said it was his ship. And it did say the name of the ship in the article, but I didn't write it down.
I'll look it up.
I was trying, but my phone isn't
But I
working.
thought that was cool. They discovered that in 1996.
That is pretty
The
cool.
ship.
Queen Anne's Revenge.
There you go,
Queen
Queen
Anne's
Anne's
Revenge.
Revenge.
Ooh, what a name for a
Early
ship.
18th century ship, most famously used as a flagship by Edward Peach.
Peach.
Better known
So,
by
was
his
he
nickname
like
Blackbeard.
Queen Anne, like Anne Boleyn?
I wasn't related to him. I don't know. I
I
wouldn't
don't know, I
know.
was just wondering Queen Anne's Revenge.
Look, let's go down there and we can ask him.
He doesn't go that deep.
It sunk.
Maybe.
It sunk in 1718.
I just thought this was cool because it was Blackbeard the pirate.
That is
and I
pretty
go,
cool.
arrgh.
Our,
What's a favorite?
what's a pirate's favorite letter?
What's a favorite?
a pirate's
What's
favorite
a-
letter?
Wow.
You think it's R, but it's really the C.
Wrong, it'd be the sea.
What did the blind pirate
Do you know why I
say?
couldn't pull off that joke? Because I'm drinking the pirate's favorite drink.
Rum.
Rum.
Pull your top up.
How embarrassing.
You couldn't even get the sentence out.
How
And you're talking about my show prep.
But my new best friend got it figured out. It's fine.
telling
She knew
us
what I was saying.
But the funny thing was, Y'all were buying it, and he had a little placard on his desk, Captain Blackbeard.
That's not. We were not buying that. That was
Well,
completely
You know who Captain
sarcasm.
Blackbeard's buddy was? Captain Crunch. He had made him every morning for breakfast.
Captain Graybeard.
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
What about good old Captain
Wonder if there
Whitebeard?
was like a Captain Redbeard and Graybeard and black and blonde beard.
I feel like
and-
that's research that you should have done.
Well, no, I was just talking about Captain Blackbeard because it was cool.
But the question is, do you know Captain Crunch's real name?
Oh, Captain Redbeard.
Crafton.
Captain Crunch was named after a real cap.
No,
What?
but what's his name? What's his real name?
What's his name?
I've heard that before. I had that on one of our
And
facts.
it's not a
remember?
real person. It's a medical
Captain Crunch is
marijuana
real.
program.
I don't know, Sir Edward something. I don't know.
No, I thought it was Horatio.
It may
Hey,
be. I don't
it's,
know.
I don't
it's
know.
not a real person.
Who would win between Captain Crunch and his ship and Captain Blackbeard and his ship?
Captain Blackbeard, he's got cannons.
Hang on,
But
hang
you
on.
can't see Captain Crunch because he never gets soggy.
Mama.
But you can eat it.
Listen.
But you can drink from Blackbeard's skull.
Hey.
It could be the cereal bowl. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, it's not a person. It's Captain Redbeard Seeds, and it starred in the Origin Medical Marijuana Program.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's move on to state 2. I think we've had enough of Blackbeard.
Oh wait, no, it was a real
We
person.
went down a rabbit
It was a
hole
Lego
there.
Man. That's a Lego man.
A Lego man.
Okay.
Lego Captain.
So, my state. I'm gonna need you not ask too much questions.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, excuse me?
I always have questions.
No, it's fine. You can ask questions, and I'll just tell you I don't know because I didn't do the research either. All right, so I have North Dakota, and it is the Sandhaven Sanatorium. Okay,
Sanitarium.
that
You said
is
that 3 times?
sanatorium. Is literally I
I
wrote.
can't read your handwriting.
There's a difference, I think, between sanitarium and sanatorium, and I don't know what that difference is.
Oh, you should have researched that.
Yeah.
Well, one is for crazy people, right? And the other one's for people usually with, what do they call that breathing disease? Like Waverly Hills was for
Asthma.
Tuberculosis.
tuberculosis.
Yep, TB. Look at her having my back.
Look at that.
I'm the one that's Googling.
And it's in Dunseith. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, North Dakota. So, this place was founded in 1909 as a
Tuberculosis.
English is not our
Just
first
say
language,
the
so-
abbreviation.
TB sanatorium. Later became a hospital for the developmentally disabled. So this place was so large it had its own zip code.
Wow.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah. The facility closed in 1989.
Thank you.
This is officially closed to visitors. Trespassers died falling down an elevator shaft.
Ooh.
Yes. There's speculation of abuse towards the patients, which is, I feel like that's kind of common.
Especially back then.
Yeah, and especially in places for like where the mentally disabled were kept.
They just didn't know how to take care of them back then.
Right. So things that are happening, right? So you have apparitions, you hear babies crying, there is, amongst the paranormal community, I guess, of those investigators, the 5th floor is said to be extraordinarily eerie and active. However, in every article that I read about this place, it specifically states, do not go there. The structure is not safe. So I feel like I need to
Go there.
do not go there. You will die.
But if
falling
you
to
do,
the
film
floor.
it and send us a video.
No! We're not doing that. So that's normal.
Have you ever been into a condemned place ghost hunting?
The War Trace, the Walking Horse Hotel in War Trace, it wasn't condemned, but it was close to looking like it. There were no walls anywhere. There were just like the frame of the interior of the wall. You can see the wires and the plumbing and everything.
So do you have to like sign off on like a waiver or something when you do these?
Some places you do, some places you don't. Like that one we didn't, but
If I have to sign
when
a
it's like that,
waiver-
it's more eerie, and you feel like you're gonna get more because they're destroying things and rebuilding things.
My goal is to find a ghost that goes around and like gives everybody a wedgie. I haven't done that yet.
I've never seen
I
that.
swear, you say the most random things.
Maybe
If I have to sign a waiver to go investigate a place, like hard pass, because I feel like my life is like.
A lot of them. I went to, where did I go? It was in Pulaski, Tennessee. It was Antoinette Hall, and they made you sign a waiver.
Oh my god.
Because it was on the second story. It was an opera house on the second story, and it was falling apart.
Was it like
they literally had steel wires holding one wall together.
Was it like a waiver that if you get hurt, or like if it comes chases your
If
butt
you got
and fall?
hurt, like if you fell down the stairs, because I mean it was sketchy.
You know you're in a bad place if you have to sign a waiver. It says if a ghost goes home with you, you must return them within 30
Let's
days.
return the ghost. No, but yeah, it was.
It's not even that kind of waiver. Like, now I'm concerned about something following me home and me falling through the floor and dying.
Yeah.
Like, those are my concerns.
There's only
at
been a
this point.
couple places that have been that bad that I was afraid I was going to fall through the floor.
Okay, so when you set us up for this
I'll do a
investigation,
good one that's safe.
Okay.
It's not deteriorated.
Like, reinforced flooring.
Yeah, you would forget. You already bad with heights?
No,
Oh,
I don't have an issue with that.
And Antoinette Hall, it's on the second story, and then it had a balcony inside the second story, higher up. And the balcony was no wider than this couch, and it slanted downwards towards the stage.
Okay, you said heights. You didn't say sketchy heights.
Yeah.
That's a sketchy.
I went up the steps. I took 2 steps out. I went nope, and turned around. Went back down to the first floor. I was like, I will
Yep.
slide right off this thing.
Hard pass.
That's like when we went to the Grand Canyon. Y'all went
went
up
to the
there to the
edge.
edge, and I'm like, nope, I'm good. I can see a big hole from here.
I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
Beautiful. Mom hated
It's
it.
a big
She
hole.
doesn't like heights.
It's a big hole.
Big hole in the ground.
No matter where you look, it's a big hole.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty.
So, my next state is a state where we actually have friends from, but they're not from this town.
Low places?
They're from Bucharest. Well, it kind of is, because when you go into their town, the road just ends. You go from like an interstate to like a 1-lane dirt mule road with horses
So
on
that
the
would be
side,
scary.
all that stuff.
Dad.
But this one is called Helltown, Ohio is the name of the town. And back in the 70s, people were ordered to leave there, and they were ordered to leave by the government, but they're not sure if it was because there were like experiments and mutated individuals there.
Oh, like the hills have eyes, people.
Yeah, or it was like part of the rumor was it was a large satanic worshiping area with sacrifices and all that stuff.
Red
But
flag.
some of the citizens didn't want to leave, and they ended up mysteriously all disappearing, and they think that's the spirits that haunt the town now.
Maybe. I've never heard of that before. But it kind of sounds like the early city in Virginia. Was it Roanoke? That everybody disappeared from and they never found them.
That happened in Virginia too?
I think that's where it was when the Pilgrims first came over. The
I've
first
never
settlers.
heard that.
I'd never heard that one. This was the
Really?
first time I ever heard of this, like people disappearing. And the first thing I thought of was that show that you had us watching last
Stranger
night,
Things?
and the Democrats started eating people.
Demogorgon.
Yeah, whatever you call them. Demogorgons, that's it.
Are they like the Leviathans of Supernatural?
I don't know what they were called. I always get them confused.
Demogorgons.
Yeah, that's it, the Demogorgons.
Listen, when you look up Eddie Munson versus
But-
Democrats, it says Democrats.
That would definitely be a reason for somebody to stick around, I think.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I really think so.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I wonder, because that's a little bit different if it was like a government, like, experiment area. I don't know. That's just one of the legends.
Okay, can I just... So, there's this huge... Okay, so obviously Stranger Things is like a huge thing right now. Hawkins, Indiana, da-da-da. So there's this theory
Yeah, they've discredited that from Oak Ridge.
that Hawkins is based on Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Where they built the
And-
atomic bomb.
It's also based off of another place. I can't remember
Well,
what.
didn't they have a couple of different places throughout the states working on the atomic bombs?
I think they have probably had several,
Yeah.
locations we don't
I think
even know about.
Oak Ridge was just the first to finish.
Maybe.
But I feel like if that's where you're going to open the portal to another, I don't even know if it's a universe dimension.
Do you think Oak Ridge? See, I would think it'd be more where they set it off in the desert.
So
That's-
what you're
like
saying
that's-
is you think these
It would
people
be
went...
so, who would think that you would, who would do that in Oak Ridge? You know what I mean?
That's
So
true
it's
too.
like-
It's also partly based off Montauk. They did experiments on children involving mind reading, mind control, and time travel. Dang, I want to move there. I might get powers.
That's kind
I
of
wonder. I mean, so what your theory is? Those people are now in. What do you call that place? Right side up.
The upside
inverted?
Upside down.
So it's not my theory. It's a theory
On
that
TikTok.
I've heard about, but it's not mine personally. I haven't done the work
What's
and the
theory? I have not
research.
heard upside down theory.
It's the inverted place. or
So
something.
basically, that's based on.
What they think happened. So is it just
So they think in Oak Ridge there's a portal.
That's where the democog was
No, they're
from.
trying to open one.
Or they're trying
Well,
to
you know,
open it.
I've heard even today they have like really high clearance around the whole area there.
Yeah, so there were like billboards and stuff that was like, what happened to your stage here?
Ooh.
Loose lips sink ship.
Mm.
That kind of thing. So
Okay.
it's like very sketchy. But I don't want like the Men in Black coming for me, so I don't know.
And the democorders come from there.
Demogorgons?
I think
Yeah,
I'd be
they
more
do.
worried about the Men in Black than the.
Will Smith's coming. And Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Is he gonna let me rub a magic lamp and make 3 wishes? Because he played the genie.
I would
Alright.
like 3 wishes.
So what's your next state?
Well, hell, I don't know.
That's a good one. Where's
So my
that
next
located?
state is Oklahoma. And this is, this specific haunting is called, it's the girls from Wheelock Academy. I'm having some serious issues with my English today. This is in Millerton, Oklahoma. So the legend is, and this isn't confirmed. Let me just start with that. This isn't confirmed. The legend is, a man broke into the girls' mission and murdered all the girls in the mission. What's happening there? They're saying that the walls and the trees are bleeding.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
and the tree?
If I see that, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Apparitions are seen sitting in chairs, hanging from trees. Teens tried to steal a vase. When they got back to their car wouldn't start. They took the vase back. They went back to their car started. I have heard a similar story about that from Tennessee with a Bible from a church.
Yeah, it keeps going
So I
back,
don't.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that feels a little
Iffy.
But
iffy
most
to
states
me.
have the same stories.
I feel like it.
You know, I'm wondering
Right.
if a lot of these stories are just like lore that goes from state to state.
Well, you think about though, back in the old days, there weren't as many cities, so people would travel and say, "Hey, do you know what happened over here in this town?" And maybe the stories just got spread, and everybody converted them a little bit. To
Or
their
maybe
own
the
place.
ghost union only lets them work in so many areas or
That
something.
could be it. So it's like you got a 5-mile radius. That's it.
If you get outside this radius, I'm gonna have to cite you from the ghost unit.
The ghost union.
Like
You
ghost
get a
tickets.
fine. No booze for the next 3 months.
That's all. Clearly, that's what it is.
Hey, you know what the ghost will be singing there? I'm booeless. Booeless
So-
as a man can play.
In the open fields around the mission, you see unexplained lights, like candles, shadows of the young girls dancing in the moonlight. So you can see the girls dancing in the moonlight,
That would be spooky.
That would be cool.
right?
That'd be a little spooky.
Look, honey, dinner and a show.
Oh my god. No, that'd be like, oh my god, I peed my pants. It's time to run.
Yeah.
Did it say why he killed them all?
It does not. I tried to delve in, like
Dive.
who was the man? Who were these girls? You know, what was this? Like I couldn't find the details, which leads me to believe
Or word of mouth story than actual facts?
it's more of a legend than an actual this happened type sort of scenario. So
That's pretty cool. Again, a lot of this is
I haven't gotten to your new favorite yet.
a lot of this is revolving around like devious.
You know, and I think that's the other thing. So we mentioned last week that a lot of our stories had the same trend.
Yeah.
There were a few
That were different, that were odd.
that were odd.
Like this next one.
Okay.
I had Oregon. Its state motto is, "We're so boring, not even ghosts want to come here."
Well, that was wrong.
Yeah, I had the wrong statement. I was telling you that. I finally found one on it, and it was even boring for a ghost. It's the Wolf Creek Inn, and Jack London, writer of Call of the Wild, finished his last novel and died there. So they say they see him at a table writing. I'm like,
Really?
you're so boring, a ghost doesn't even want to come to work.
That's the only thing you could find for Oregon?
That's pretty much everything else was like, no.
Really?
There was really a lot. I mean, there was more like
You think
there
Oregon?
was more like haunted towns and stuff, but not really anything in them.
But wasn't like Oregon Trail like the old game you
But-
used to play in school?
I'm saying.
Didn't they have a lot of people dying when they was going west?
Yeah, but
Oregon
not when they
Trail.
were in Oregon.
Indians and
The goal was to get to Oregon.
Someone clicked on the first link in town.
I thought they had to go through Oregon to get to like
No,
California
it's
and
called
the
the
gold.
Oregon Trail.
Oh.
It's going to Oregon.
Wait, is that the same trail where the people got to the top and got snowed and became cannibals and ate each
I
other?
don't know.
Oh, Dahmer?
Dahmer.
Party.
Yeah, I can't think of their name. Wasn't that out west somewhere in that
Wait,
area?
was it the Dahmer?
I
No,
think
that was Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I think it's close though.
Who was that? Donner.
Donna, I think it is Donna.
Something
Super
like that.
close to Jeffrey Dahmer. Either way, it's the same thing was occurring.
But there was really nothing that like really sparked my interest in Oregon. I read quite a few, but they were all really lame, so I just
It's
picked
boring.
Sorry, Oregon.
the ducks are
I
boring.
think people from Oregon
Send us
are
some
boring.
ghost stories from Oregon.
Yeah.
So, but my next one is really cool.
Okay, well, I have to go next.
Okay, but I'm really
And then you
excited.
can go.
You sure I can't go because I'm really excited.
What do we do?
How many
Okay.
stories do y'all have?
So the next one that I have is from Pennsylvania. Well, the next one I have is Pennsylvania. It's the Saks.
Pennsylvania. I do not say blah blah blah.
No, that's Transylvania.
Oh, sorry.
It's the Saks covered bridge.
They play
The
sax
what?
on a bridge.
No, Saks. SACHS.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go on
So this bridge was used by both Confederate and Union forces during the Battle of
Who
Gettysburg.
let the horses in? Who let the horses in? I don't know what noise. Nee.
This bridge served as the execution site for
I
three.
feel like I must have bad, like, didn't use my deodorant when granddaughter.
Everybody left.
Sorry, go ahead with your story.
This bridge served as the execution site for three Southern soldiers who were either spies or deserters. So I couldn't find anything that suggested one or the other. Like it was either or, right? So they were either spies dressed as Union soldiers, or they were deserters who had dressed as Union soldiers to desert, right? So Union soldiers discovered them. They hung them as a warning to the Confederates on the bridge. So what's happening? People are seeing sightings of three disembodied heads floating on the bridge.
Just the heads.
Just the heads.
Weird.
Where'd the rest of them go?
first one.
There have been pictures captured.
You know what they said? I'm glad I stopped while I'm ahead.
The bodies were
There have
first
been
one.
pictures captured of what appear to be the three Confederate soldiers on the bridge. There is a strong scent of cigar smoke on the bridge.
How does the head light the cigar? It has no hands.
With its
Pardon me,
rage-
sir. Could you
with
like
its-
my cigar?
It lights it with the rage of being hung.
It just has to think it and then it ignites.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's just wonderful.
It has psychokinesis.
So,
Could you imagine going in the store to buy the cigar?
Okay,
head,
okay,
walk
okay,
over.
okay, you're done. Continue.
so people have reported being tapped on the shoulder when no one was around.
Ladies?
And also distant gunfire is heard as well as cannon fire, obviously, because this is in the area of the Gettysburg.
Oh yeah, major death.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, Gettysburg was on Ghost Adventures, right?
Yeah.
I bet that would be, yeah.
That'd be a cool one to go to.
Y'all want to go to Pennsylvania?
No.
Not it.
No. That was cool, though. So it's just three floating heads. So did they do like, they had a number in one of the heads and they shuffle around so you can find the number or something?
Whoever finds the number gets to light the
Could you
cigars.
imagine? Could you imagine using modern technology and having like a hologram
I
of
try
their
to do
heads
this
and play
Wait,
themselves?
wait. Whoever finds the number in the lucky head gets to light the cigars.
What did you have, Dad, next?
The last one I have is Rhode Island. Now this one's really cool.
Is that the one that you were like, this is boring, and you mistook it for Oregon?
Yeah, it was. Oregon was the boring one.
Okay.
This one's about the Exeter family demon.
Oh.
And what happened was, this demon was killing all the members of this Exeter family. All right. So they decided. Now, why somebody would decide this makes no sense to me. But they decided they were going to exhume all of the bodies of the family members that have been killed to get rid of the demon. Well, when they exhumed all of the bodies, they got to the youngest daughter, and her name was Mercy Brown. When they exhumed the body, she still had a complexion, a pale complexion, and still had blood in her veins. So they determined she was deemed as the first ever vampire.
How long had she been buried?
It said she had died many years earlier. It didn't say a specific date. But they had determined she was the first vampire. So what they did,
That
again,
doesn't make a lot of sense.
This just goes to show.
Okay.
They decided to burn her heart and liver and then drink the ashes.
Drink the ashes?
Yes.
Because they
They wanted to try to be a vampire
I
or
guess,
live forever?
but
or-
she was considered to be the first vampire.
In the United States.
Yes.
Romania had
yes.
many of those.
But,
Yeah.
well, in there, I guess in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But it just said the first vampire. But could you imagine, what would possess you to burn a heart and liver and then drink the ashes?
Of a little girl, too.
But you know what her first words was when they undug her? I do not say blah, blah, blah.
You waited that whole time to do that.
I did. I was waiting for that. But she was considered, and what I'm wondering is why, okay, number one, if a demon's killing a family, why are you digging up their dead
Yeah,
bodies?
don't be digging them up.
I don't get that part of it.
So, not similar, but on a related note, there is a book that's called Uninvited. And I'll have to get you the author later. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is about a demon that haunted this family. I have it in the house. There are pictures in the book. This thing was crazy. Like, it gave me nightmares.
So,
I guess anything demon related, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
but yet here we are.
What do you mean?
We're talking about it.
Well,
So, but I wonder, does anybody ever like consider a ghost hunt? Do they do a vampire hunt?
I've never heard of one of those.
how would you do that?
I don't know.
What attracts a vampire?
And what would you do
Steak,
with
Silver Cross?
Hey,
I
when
mean,
you
what do
meet
you
one, you
carry
like
with
hand
you?
them some garlic here.
No, because that would repel. If you're hunting, you want to find
a pint
them.
of blood to sit
Well,
out in
if
some
I
cups or
find them, I
something.
don't want them to come near me.
Well, but you're hunting them, which means that you want to find them.
They gotta
Is
come
it
to you first.
uninvited or the uninvited?
Uninvited, I think. It's in there on my shelf.
I'm not going to your shelf.
So that's Rhode Island. So Rhode Island wasn't as boring. Oregon,
That's kinda cool, though.
not even the ghosts want to be there.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
That's
The
kinda
northern
cool.
states have weird traditions, like, Salem and the witch trials, Rhode Island with the little girl vampire.
But see, I also wonder how much, and I know this sounds, but the lore, even though you think it would be different because like northern, southern, eastern, western, or whatever, but a lot of these stories are like really similar. There's not like a lot of difference in the folklore
No.
coming from different areas. Which is either, does that mean there's some consistency there that could be used kind of as a
I
base?
still think it's
or
just
is it
word of
just
mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word
yeah.
of mouth, back in the old days, people told stories of what happened over here, and it just kept carrying and carrying. Each little town tweaked it for it to
As
be
it went
their
on.
bridge, that house on the end of that road, instead of.
Dude, that's what I wonder how many of these are actually like that. I mean, this story may be made up. They may have been digging something up and found a baby doll.
Never
Here's
know.
the thing, though. When you say this story may be made up, every story, whether it be a fairy tale, legend, myth, lore, whatever,
Some basis somewhere.
has some basis of truth. It spawns from a grain of truth. So there's something out there that inspired this legend or this story
So wait a
or
minute.
whatever.
You're telling me Jack and the Beanstalk, somebody saw a giant living in a cloud?
Something inspired Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, I mean, if you go back to the Bible, it speaks of giants. You know what I mean?
But
So
it doesn't
everything
speak
has a
magical
grain of
beanstalk.
truth. That's what when I'm looking up these stories and I'm looking up, all this like legend, lore, whatever, everything has a grain of truth. Everything. So
That's cool. Your turn. I'll put pause.
So this one is my next one, or my last one, is South Carolina, and this is going to be Dad's favorite. This is called the Hit and Run Cuddler
Aww.
at the Battery Carriage House in Charleston, South Carolina.
Such a cute little cuddler.
Charleston,
Cuddle your
not Charlton. Charleston.
So wait a minute.
Sorry.
Go ahead and tell us the story.
Okay. So this is really short. Okay. So female patrons at this carriage house in Charleston, South Carolina, report a ghostly man who hops into bed with them for a little cuddling. If the woman objects, he gets up quietly and leaves.
Oh, he's polite.
What a gentleman.
What a gentleman.
His basic
And this is the Hit and Run Cuddler.
Wait, what happens if she doesn't object?
Okay.
He didn't say.
Then you look up what Tiffany looked up, getting freaky with the ghosts.
Getting freaky with ghosts. But this is the Hit and Run Cuddler at the Battery Carriage
Okay.
House in Charleston, South
So-
Carolina.
That's where I want to
So
go home.
I'm sorry, this cuddler,
Cuddler.
goes right in behind Fatty Walsh. It's still the lady that pats your butt,
The
Fatty
Hit and
Walsh,
Run
and
Cuddler.
the Hit and Run Cuddler.
Well, I wonder
That's
if
gonna be a stage name. Somebody's gonna come out the Hit and Run Cuddler.
I wonder if
I
they
knew
would
he
get
would like that
together.
one.
How
That's
could you
why I
say-
chose it, because I had South Carolina being in the southeast. Like, you find
I could just.
generally in the southeast region of the United States, there are there's a vast
I don't know why.
amount of hauntings, stories, whatever. When I came across this one, I was like, I don't care how spooky these other ones are, like, this is it, because Dad's gonna love
For
this
some
one.
reason in my
He's gonna love
head,
this one.
I'm picturing a ghost with a Clint Eastwood voice.
Do you want to cuddle?
Do you?
Could you imagine?
That would be awesome.
Would you like to cuddle? Well,
Yeah.
would you?
So, the Hit and Run Cuddler.
That's pretty cool. We need to go to the ghost place with the Hit and Run Cuddler.
That would be cool.
You're not a woman. He wouldn't cuddle you.
Or
You
the
don't know,
cuddler,
he might
the
like
cuddler
cuddle
come in
with
and he
Maybe
says,
he wears a wig and makeup.
the cuddler come
We
in.
can do that.
Hey, the cuddler come in. He sees somebody laying there with their long hair, and he goes, "Howdy, man. You like to cuddle?" And the next thing you hear is, "Yeah, buddy, come on in."
Run, Run, Cuddler, run!
I thought you were going to say run Hitler.
I was gonna say Hit and Run Cuddler.
That would be hilarious. Could you imagine the cuddler?
I knew,
Then
I knew.
the cuddler would have to go back to his buddies, and they'd be like riveting.
I knew that would be the one.
That's a good one. That's
That
right.
he
That's
would
top
like.
3. That's top. Have you ever went to anything like that? Like a ghost that does something like that?
Nope.
Just getting a little,
I have heard stories of ghosts, like if you're sleeping in bed, they like to touch your toes and pull your toes and pull the blankets off, but no. Not one to actually get in bed and cuddle with you.
Well, he charges $5 a cuddle.
No,
he charges $5.
Leave my tip on the counter.
That would be a great business.
I couldn't,
Just come in and get a hug, $5 a hug.
When you check
I
into
couldn't find who it was or why.
when you check
I
into
looked.
when you check into the
He didn't
hotel,
have a
the
wife,
maitre d' that
Mama.
checks
He
you in
wants
goes,
love.
would they be cuddling or non-cuddling?
It's like the ghost has a schedule.
This is like my new favorite.
But like the
Except for
fact that they named it the Hit and Run Cuddler was like,
That's pretty original.
Perfect.
You're sound asleep and you feel somebody get in bed with you and scooch up close, and you turn over and there's nobody there. What's your reaction? I think I would scream my head off.
I'm pulling my weapon and discharging.
Scream your head, or you discharge your weapon, then you hear, I'll take that as a no, man.
I'll take that as a no. Then just gets up quietly and leaves.
Have a good
Like
evening.
you see little footsteps.
You see the door open and slam shut.
Enjoy your stay at the Best Western.
No, you just hear
We'll turn the light back on for you.
you just hear like footsteps slowly, sadly leaving your room.
Yeah, like hey,
And you hear the mumbling as he walks out. All I wanted to do was cuddle. Nobody likes to cuddle. Oh, I think that's one of the top 3 now. That's a good one. That's a cool one. So Shannon,
like that one.
what is the most unique type experience? I know you hadn't been cuddled, evidently.
I've not been cuddled,
But what's the most unique experience like that?
but I've had.
I'm gonna go get cuddled.
I've never been touched or cuddled or anything like that.
Nothing. Has anybody ever been like say they've been touched?
Mom's over here raised her hand that she's been touched. Who touched
Well,
you,
we know
Mama?
that.
What
Lady
touched
in
you?
Arizona.
You didn't tell me she
Can't
touched
be.
you.
Yes, I was on the bed and she touched me.
So I took my mom to Tombstone for her 60th birthday.
And she saw Aunt B.
And we were staying there, and she said she woke up in the middle of the night. We was in this little 3-room bed and breakfast, whatever you call it. She said she woke up in the middle of the night, and this lady in full, like, bonnet, apron, big old western dress was standing over, and she just told me that she was tapping her on her shoulder, trying to wake her up. And my mom just put the blanket over her head and went back to sleep.
I know what it was. The lady's going, excuse me, you're in my bed and it's time for the
I
cuddler
bet
to
that
come
was
in.
it.
It's time for the
like,
cuddler.
it's
The
time
name
to
of
get
the
up.
author is Sophie Jordan.
That book I was talking about earlier, The Uninvited. The author is Sophie Jordan. This is the lady that happened to. All these experiences with this demon. It happened to. So check that out.
Talking about demons, we're gonna
So-
develop one.
So you've never been touched or anything?
I haven't personally been touched. Heather, who goes with me ghost hunting, we were at South Pittsburgh Haunted Hospital, and there had some wheelchairs, and she was just sitting in a wheelchair while we were doing some EVP. And all of a sudden the wheelchair starts rolling. I don't know if the floor was slanted.
Snoopy thought that was funny.
You don't know. But it was kind of
It's
strange.
on a wheelchair.
That's what she heard behind her. And then she hears, excuse me, ma'am, I'm taking you for a cuddle.
Yeah, she just kind of held her hands up like, what the hell?
Yeah, I can imagine that would be.
It was kind of.
So what's the strangest thing you've ever encountered, I guess, then?
I still say it's at the Thomas house when it sounded like a semi crashed into the back of the room. So that was kind of strange. And we were at Rosemont, which is in Gallatin. And we were sitting in like the dining room area. And somebody asked a question. I don't remember what the question was, but we had a flashlight. Well, it wasn't a flashlight. It was a lamp sitting on the end table in the little corner. And we asked the question, and the light went off. And it was off for a good, 5-10 minutes or so. And we said, could you turn that light back on finally? And it popped right back on. So that was...
I wonder what it is about lights.
I don't even know. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's fascinating. Like, I would love to see that. But I feel like if I were, like, there in the moment, like, I'd just be, like, there'd be a puddle on the floor underneath me.
No, that's what I thought too when I first went. But you get into that thing of, you're like, what the heck? How'd that happen? And you have to go look at it to see if there's a short wire.
Something like that, I'd have to say, well, I'm glad I wore my brown pants.
And I'd spend so much time trying to debunk it that I feel like I would miss out on
everything else.
everything
Yeah,
else.
because there's always an explanation.
Well, you think. Sometimes there's not. I mean, like me
Unless-
thinking a semi hit the back of a hotel wall.
Well,
I'd have to, like, hear something, like, dramatic and, like, something be like...
Right there in your face.
you mean something like, excuse me, ma'am.
Something in that...
Cuddle.
Would you like to cuddle? Something that's, like, direct enough to really, terrify me to the point where my butthole puckers. You know what I mean?
Like Vandy when he barks.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The scariest thing I've ever seen. Have you seen on like Ghost Adventures? They have this SLS camera, and it's like you can point it somewhere, and if something's there, it shows you like the stick figure of the person.
Yeah, it's like all those dots.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So we went to the Athenaeum, which is in Columbia, and one of the people on the ghost hunt with us had one of them, and they had it set up facing an open area, and we were on the other side of it, and you could see something sitting up in the rafters in the basement, and you could see legs dangling down, you could see 2 arms and like a torso. You couldn't see a head, and it was just sitting there like watching us back. That was really strange.
How was it watching you without a head?
Well, I understand that's what it looked like. It was watching us back.
So, if I wanted to go on an investigation and I wanted this high-tech equipment, like where do you come across this equipment?
You can get some stuff on eBay. That's where I bought some of my stuff.
eBay.
Like my EMF detector.
Yeah.
Go to the ghost
Yeah.
store.
They do actually have ghost hunting websites for equipment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of it is. Oh, sorry. Some of it's very expensive. Like that SLS camera.
Oh, I can imagine.
I'd love to have one of those. They're like $800-900.
Oh my
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't afford
It's
that.
like literally, what is that Wii?
Yeah, it's a
where it
Wii
maps
Connect
you?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is. If I could figure out how to build one, I would do it myself.
I bet
let's
there is
Google
a way
it. Let's
to
figure
use
it
that
out.
Wii and do that.
You're an
Figure it
IT person. You figure it out.
You should figure that out. for us, Dale.
100%.
I
Figure
could
it out.
totally have one of those.
There's got to be a way to do it.
You might be able to find those, like this, what do they call it, schematics online somewhere. I don't know.
There's got to be a
I can give
way.
you even the guy, Bill Chappell or Chapman. I think it's Chappell. Bill Chappell is the one who built it.
Chapel from Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Huh.
I used to love me some Zach Bagans.
But sometimes I think he's a wuss. He screams awfully a lot for a tough looking
You know
guy.
what? It's the bro and the dudes that did it in for me. You had a crush on him?
When I
He's
was
a cute
12.
guy.
Yeah.
He does run a lot.
Makes Aaron go into rooms around. Aaron, come here.
Exactly. But he won't
You know
go.
that the new Ghost Adventures house calls show?
I have not seen
Aaron,
it
come
yet.
here.
Okay, well he's literally
He's sitting at his house and everyone else is going.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even there?
No.
What's he doing at his house? Just watching this?
Just
literally telling them what to do.
Oh, how boring is that?
I know.
Man, no.
Control freak.
Yeah.
So cute though. I wouldn't kick you out of bed for eating crackers.
I'm telling
So on that note, I think it's time to end.
Come on, Uncle Dale.
No one's told any stories except you and Mama.
Well, jump right in.
No, I don't
you
have
got?
any. I don't have any.
Shannon, what you got?
Where
Tell
have
us
I
the story.
been?
Put me on the spot. I don't know.
So I will say so Shannon and Dad and Angela and I are going to do a ghost investigation. We don't know where, we don't know when, but it's gonna happen.
Can we like plan that before summer ends? Because school's coming up really fast.
Well, I think it would be best to do it around in October.
September, October, when it gets a
September,
little cooler.
October.
Because most
It's
of the
the
places
best time
you go
to do
go
that.
hunt do not have AC.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
so
hot in Tennessee.
But then if the ghost is near you, you know because you're cold.
Well, no, because then you could just be sweaty and there'd just be a breeze coming through somewhere.
Right.
Because
yeah.
I've had that happen before at a hospital. Had broken windows.
I feel like
And
if
they're like,
you're
oh, it's a spirit. I'm like, no, it's the breeze coming through the window on my sweaty neck.
yeah, if you're walking around during an investigation with swamp ass, like there's chafing and it's just
Oh, yeah.
not a
It's
fun
not
time.
good.
Yeah, don't wear cuddle duds on a ghost hunt.
Why aren't you coming?
And remember,
So-
I'm just going to be running the camera, so if any ghosts are out there watching this, I'm just running the camera.
Ghosts are out there watching this.
You
Is
never
that a
know,
thing?
right?
Like,
Maybe the cuddler's watching.
Somebody's watching me.
Well, you know, they say ghosts are energy. Couldn't they get the wavelengths?
I don't know, I wonder. Could they pick up like CNN and Fox News and all that?
I don't know.
Are they going to be on the
Dad.
same vibe
That would
as
be
me?
cool to see. I really wonder that.
But you think about all
Because think about all of your like TV and radio and everything is airwaves.
yeah. And you know when like the TV show Ghost Hunters, when they always try to like build the electricity up and the energy
Even
to get them
more.
to come
I
up.
wonder if
or
the
like
ghosts-
those when they do what is that?
EMF.
No, it's when they're doing the radio.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But it's like sweeping channels.
Oh, the
Scanners.
Spirit Box.
Spirit Box.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going through
Yes.
radio stations really, really fast.
Yeah.
It's
So
called a scanner
It's
for
the
ghosts.
same thing, right?
Basically.
Radio waves.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So would ghosts technically be riding the waves?
I don't know, but can they control the waves? Is that how
I don't
they
know.
speak through a
No,
Spirit
see,
Box?
that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
They would have to control it if they're communicating with the noise, right?
Yeah, so if they're controlling it, they can pick up TV
Or
shows.
if a ghost.
So I would feel like it would depend on how strong they are.
That's true, too.
Because if a ghost, if you hear them like on all these shows, do they have a voice box? No, they have to be using some
But you
kind
know
of
what's
radio wave,
bad
right?
on the Spirit Boxes? You never hear like anybody like a song coming through or anything. And each time they catch a voice, it's always like one time it might be a really soft lady's voice, one time it might be a really deep man's voice, and anything in between.
Yeah.
So it always has different tonal.
So
in it.
the EMFs that were caught at the house that we used to live at. So first of all, there was this deep guttural menacing, "Get out!" Right, which is the reason we live here now. There was also this lady who was like, "Captain," just like that. Okay, Captain.
She was calling for Blackberry.
And I was present in the room when this EVP was caught.
Did you hear it with your ears
No.
too? No.
No one was. It was dead quiet, dead
so
silent.
who called it?
So the recorder caught it. And then there was like, you could hear like pool balls, and you hear like the cue against the balls, and it was like, you know, and then you hear rack 'em.
You live in a pool hall?
Random stuff. Well, so here's the theory. We had a recliner in that house that my husband's uncle passed away in, who was an avid pool player.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that was captured in Angela's bedroom at the time.
You didn't tell me?
The Get Out, hang on, the Get Out was captured in our bedroom, and the Captain was captured in the kitchen. Now, we did, I don't want to say figured out, but the theory is that the Captain was someone around the time of the Civil War, because it was on Sunnyside Drive, which is, you know, right up the road here.
Yeah.
So, Stones
Like
River.
everybody listening in different states knows right up the road.
I was talking to Shannon.
Near the battlefield.
I was talking to Shannon. Stones River.
Well, that would make sense. They could have had tents camped there,
Right.
whatever. Could have been old houses around
Right.
there. You never know.
And then, you know, at night when you're out in the backyard and stuff in that house, I've never heard it here, but in that house you could hear distant, like what could be considered cannon fire.
Oh, that's cool.
What could be. And it's, yeah, so.
All right. Cool.
It's about the extent of my experience.
Another good show. Well, I think we have, one more we're going to do on this topic?
So we have one more. We have, I think, 10 or 11 states left to do.
We're just going to cram them in.
We're going to cram them into one show, and
Then we're going to switch topics. Like,
we're going to switch topics. We will come back to the ghost series.
I do
once
want to
we-
know this. Has anybody ever
Wasn't
captured-
talking.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Has anyone ever what though?
I lost my train of thought now.
He said, has anyone ever caught, catch?
I just had a random thought, but go ahead. I've lost it.
Okay, so we are going to come back to the ghost series. We're going to do a finale, so to speak, when we do our investigation, and we'll give details on that when we figure all that out. So,
Oh, I know what it was. Has anybody
We'll go back.
ever caught like a ghost farting on tape?
How would
Do
they?
ghosts fart?
No,
No,
then you
but
can't eat.
Do you
I
know
remember-
for sure they don't?
I remember watching on one of the television shows that they caught the smells of a fart.
how did I know that wasn't a fellow investigator
I
that was
don't know,
just
but-
denying it?
So I wonder if you see a ghost floating around and you see this green fog come out. Is that like a fart?
He who denied it
What?
supplied it.
I want to say it was Ghost Adventures, and they had something, and Zach pooed it, and you could see the different
Yes!
colors of the gas.
Did you really?
Yeah,
It was
the gases
it was
come
some
out.
kind of oh, Angela, what was
That's
it? Do you
cool.
remember?
Yeah, it was really cool, but you can see like it had the methane and it showed different colors.
Yes,
of different gases.
yes. And it was like, oh my god, this thing's spiked. Zach was like, I farted.
You just see the wolf of gas.
Oh, that would be so hilarious.
You know, there have been so many on Ghost Adventures too, where like they've heard like what they thought was a growl, and it was always
Somebody's
like
belly.
Aaron farting.
I got it pulled up.
The best
Oh,
thing ever.
that's
Well, I
funny.
don't think we can show it for copyright.
Right.
No.
Can't show
But
it, but they
anyway.
can hear it.
No, it's copyrighted.
You're copyrighted.
It's all right.
I'm copyrighted.
I think that's gonna. You're copyrighted. I'm
So
gonna
you can't
watch
show
this.
it 'cause
While
it's
while you
copyrighted.
send
You're
the-
copyrighted.
While you send the show out, I'm gonna watch this.
Oh, I'm sending the show out?
Sure, I'm gonna watch this.
All right. Well, until next time. I didn't prepare a closing.
Don't get haunted.
I guess it's time to flush, folks. See
Bye,
you next
guys.
time.